We're living in the middle of the biggest, the sickest, most coordinated, most sophisticated misinformation campaign in history. Propaganda was plenty before papers cost a penny, but now, look what's evolved from Ed Bernays, Brzezinski, the Mockingbird Op, and Billy Casey. Study who's behind the pornography industry and its effects on the nuclear family. Media moguls creating revolutions for political gain. In 2015, Soros opened society, set off mobs in Ukraine. They know just how to manipulate crowds to get loud, indoctrinate nations, bow down to their information like camps of concentration in the brain. Ideas have consequences. Beliefs can advance us or take us backwards, a lot of us. Fruits of ideology, schemes rooted deep in deceit. Deceivers' plots must be stopped. Children's souls getting robbed of innocence, left out in the cold to rot permanently. I'm Jacoby. I have a passion for truth. Out of love for God and neighbor, I will ride to die for the minds of our youth. Get the mind, get the heart, get a life. Pull them back from the brink of insanity, relativity. It's scary. Gotta move. Information on the television program is programming our reality. Pseudo-education has massive implications for everything we see happening right now in society. But what was it Scripture said was coming? God's holy prophecy. That the knowledge of His glory would cover the earth as the waters cover the sea. It's the perfect analogy, to be taken literally. Heroes in the know blow whistles. Investigative journalists expose darkness to light at great risk to their lives. May we rise, even if it hurts. The last shall be first. By the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony of the Son of Man, whose love is better than love in my life. We need the light, need the blind to see the word's sufficiency, its perspicuity with clarity. The gospel's complexities, the gospel's simplicities. But we breathe in the lies of pessimistic, pietistic passivity. We should be kingdom building with a long-term optimistic eschatology. From this generation of kids coming culture shifts unprecedented. Kids getting raised by rappers, influencers, not parents or experts or academics. Systemic fabrications enslaving the children, engineering a disinformation plantation dystopia. Don't panic. Mass surveillance of the groupthink epidemic. We're about to see lots of kids with heads chock full like never in history have we had this ability to learn so much so easily. We have to infiltrate hate and dominate that space and show them the way worldviews play out in every nook and cranny of the day to day. The practicality of Jesus' supremacy, His truth, and His beauty. Okay. Hello everybody, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Jacoby and Lera doing ministry update. This is take 2. Hi, it's 2020, crazy year, super crazy year, coronavirus, chaos, corruption, conspiracy theories, what's going on? Polarization, division. Yeah, it's been wild. So of course ministry changed for everybody since they were stayed at home, but some big changes with MIA coming up. I haven't done an update in a while because I've just been overwhelmed, very busy. You would think I haven't been, but I'll tell you why. So earlier this year I started rethinking the ministry. If maybe there's a different way we can reach people, maybe there's something else we can do. And I was chatting with a girl that works, I was thinking about working with this mega church in the States and communicating with them a bit. And a girl that works there told me about these ministries that go in the 1040 window, and they play these animated explainer videos that have been translated into the local language. And then they do paid advertising online to target those videos for people in their city. And then people in their city will ask questions and begin to talk about it, and they can chat with them about the gospel or whatnot, invite them to hang out at an event or get coffee. And then the idea is to funnel them into their church plant or into a good church. And I thought, wow, that would be great, because I really believe in the power of information and the internet and leaving my own digital footprint for now and for the future. And I thought, what if we built this whole like exhaustive or comprehensive library of free resources that disciple people like from the very beginning and go through everything, and then translate those into Russian and other languages as we're able, and then had a worksheet with each one. So you can watch like this video, or the person you're discipling say, watch this video, and then we'll get together and we'll go through the worksheet together, which will have, related reading and in the word and stuff like that. So this is kind of what became my new vision for what to build. And meanwhile, Lera was doing a lot of the same ministry, but it was changed because of the coronavirus. But why don't you tell about that?
Well, it changed a little, where most of the meetings are probably happening in Zoom online, but sometimes I would meet in person. It's just it was harder for a while because of the transport wouldn't go very well, and
the public transport.
Many people don't drive here. I mean, my friends, my consolees. And yes, so last year and probably the year before that, but especially last year, I've been doing, most of my ministry was biblical counseling. So other than me studying and learning how to do biblical counseling, I also have to actually do it. That's the part of the study. So I wasn't only discipling now, I was also doing biblical counseling with people who really needed help. And it was my honor before God and before them to be able to help them grow and grow with them in some of the areas that they needed growth in. So what I saw the last year, that God is calling me for this ministry because of what kind of talents He gave me and how it works and how it changed my life. So I decided that I want to go more into it, so learn more biblical counseling. So after I'm done with this school in a year, I'm planning to go to study in CCAF. It's another biblical counseling, more known for Americans possibly. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm going through kind of more trainings to get more experience, to get...
She was actually chosen, handpicked.
Well, it's basically, if you have opportunity and time to do that, and you do good in school, that you have opportunity to join teachers and watch them do counseling. And it's amazing.
Where you observe your leader, every student in the course is teamed up with one. With one pastor or teacher or leader.
Yeah.
And so she's been observing this counseling session with them. And anyways, she was actually counseling me. I was going through the counseling.
Sorry, we can't tell you details on counselors, though. Yeah. That's the thing. And now I can't send you pictures of people or tell details. But I see the big need, especially in 2020. Mm-hmm. I see big need in that.
Anyway, I see the growth in her and what she's learning, and I'm able to help fill in some of the gaps with some of the theology,
yes.
With more, robust, wider, deeper and wider explanation of certain things. So that's been cool.
I am also going through Bible college, but that's kind of not going very well. I mean, it's kind of going slow.
Well, it's like at your own pace.
Yeah, because there's so many things happening. But I'm excited about that too, the Bible college. I do have Jacoby here, so he's teaching me a lot. So sometimes, I don't see such a big need. in going there. But
this morning we did a minor introductory course to covenant theology.
Yeah.
So anyway, what have I said? What have I not said? No. I talked about the new vision. Well, we want to keep some of the ministry going, like the person-to-person ministry. Mm-hmm. So we've prepared these English courses, like week-long outreaches, where, tons and tons of work went into preparing these. We have lessons that have PowerPoints already made with the activities and the discussion questions and the games, that everything is already put together that we did in the past in Odessa. We have Christian friends in churches in different parts of Ukraine where we can go there and do these week-long outreaches like for them, serve them with that. The material's already prepared. They just need to bring servants and helpers to translate and stuff, and we can even kind of train them how we did our English club ministry and stuff. So that's the thing we'd like to keep going. So if you're interested in a mission trip, it's really hard to get people to come here on mission trips. But if you are interested, or if you want to come with your church with a team, let us know. We can probably work that out very easily.
For sure. Well, maybe not. It depends on quarantine, but usually outside of quarantine.
Apart from chaos, then it can happen. And then, but I also, 2 months ago, I got a new job. So some of you know that a few years back, I started getting really interested in cryptocurrency, and then that led to interest in economics, and then I fell down all these rabbit holes about history and banking and all this, and I wrote this book, which I haven't published yet, but anyways, all the skills, I've always thought, man, what if I had to stop being a missionary, or decided to stop being a missionary, what would I do? I was like, well, I've developed all these skills with like PowerPoint and Photoshop and some video editing, and then I've always naturally kind of had a writing talent. But it's funny because a guy I knew from online, we have a mutual friend in California, but he's really into Bitcoin. He was actually proofreading my book for me. He had this job with this crypto marketing and consulting firm for like 6 months. So he wrote me one day, asked if I needed a job. He thought I would be too busy. And I thought, well, I'm kind of in a transition period, kind of figure out what's next, and maybe I'll give it a shot, see how it goes. So it's been a little bit overwhelming, very stressful, because there's so much I can do, or I can not do. But in the beginning, it was because I had been out of crypto for like over a year, and I had to do a lot of reading to get caught up on the space and what was happening. But well, that was part of it. But anyway, the job's really good. It's like sometimes it's $30 to $50 an hour. Sometimes it's like $100 an hour, depending on what you're doing when you're actually working, for actual working time. So what I was like, wow, this is an opportunity where I can start outsourcing to build MIA, because I have the vision that I shared with about the discipleship thing. And at minimum, what we would do, at very minimum, we would translate teachings other people have done on video, and then I would put like nice visuals with it, with a professional voiceover in Russian. So we can put Christian materials in Russian, and then we would love to do Spanish and other languages also. But we have actually this gospel video project with these beautiful illustrations that are somewhat animated, and that we're gonna, put together this full gospel presentation online with those, and then we would like to, if everybody likes it, it's basically a way to share like a full gospel story with full context, with beautiful illustrations and a nice voiceover and all this. So that project's been years in the making. And it's going forward slowly, but we're like in the next phase where we have the animations and illustrations done. So we're getting close to being able to publish that. But anyway, I want to build the largest Christian repository of categorized quotes online. And I want to then have them translated into Russian and then other languages. And I want to like tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of quotes on my website. So we've already started. I have a friend here in Ukraine. I've started paying to begin collecting those. So with the money I'm making from this job, I'm outsourcing to begin building the foundation for what will be the future for MIA. And then, so I don't know At first I didn't know what this job was going to be, if I could trust it. I'm getting paid in crypto, but for 2 months now I've been paid. I've been paid well, it's going great so far. I don't know how long it will last. I don't know what the future of the crypto industry holds. Nonetheless, I have these skills I developed, so I imagine I can always do some kind of work, even if it's freelance work, if I need some extra money. But basically, wanted to share everything about this, crazy year 2020, the transition we're in, what we're doing, and what we're thinking about for the future. The cool thing about this is it's very scalable. It can scale to potentially hundreds of thousands of people online. We leave this digital footprint for Christianity for the future that I really believe in. And people, I'm going to sneeze. Woo!
Bless you.
Thanks. She was blessed me by faith. She knew it's coming. Yeah, so anyway, people can work with me and help from anywhere in the world. And it's not take a lot. Like before I wanted to start this big rec center, it would take at least probably, I imagine a few $1 million I needed to raise. Well, that didn't happen. So, but I already have the equipment, even though I do need a new computer. The computer I want is $4,000. If anyone wants, yeah. So I'll probably be able to buy that after a couple months of working here, but, I need a strong computer because I do a lot of video editing and multitasking and stuff, and have several windows open at once. That must be open. It's not just because I'm unorganized. Anyhow, I'm uber organized and efficient pretty much most of the time, kind of, unless I'm distracted. So anyway, so if you want to help, you can get involved. You can join in potentially. We can chat about it. We can Zoom about it. You can, if you can do voiceovers or writing, I'd like to do book summaries as well. If you want to read books and write book summaries on a script, we could have someone else do the voiceover. I can do the video, or we can outsource the video to someone. Or if you can do video, you can join in and help. But if we do have someone join in, we want someone who does it as a long-term commitment. It can be part-time, or full-time. Or you can produce slowly. If you wanted to do book summaries, you could do one every 2 months or something. If you're a slow reader and writer, that would help us a lot. And then we could, have creative liberty to maybe alter it or edit it and stuff, and then do voiceovers. Or if you can do voiceovers and you want to either volunteer your time or join on a more permanent basis to the ministry, we can talk about that too. So there's lots of different ways to scale this, to create an efficient workflow between people all around the world, highly scalable for low investment financially. So, but we still need money to be able to, outsource and continue working ourselves. So if we have surplus, we'll be saving and we'll be investing a portion of that savings. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. And if you believe in this, I invite you to get involved, to pray for us. There's a lot of other projects that are related, connected. I've got a little Etsy store. Please check that out. That's doing decent. And then, I have this table game I want to make. I have this gigantic crossword puzzle that I'm building that I wanted to have published by now. I have this super cool t-shirt for our ministry that's going to be like a coat of arms with high detail art that represents the kingdom of God. So lots of cool biblical symbolism with the kingdom parables and other things that I want to have on a t-shirt. I have some really cool poster ideas. And so I have a book I want to write, 365, like kind of a piece of advice to, if I had a son, what I would teach him about life from a Christian worldview. All different things about life. It's kind of like a devotional, but instructional writing. I'm imagining I had a son and I'm instructing him everything I would want him to know about life, but like concisely and like the bite-sized devotional type reading and stuff. So yeah, I have all these different things I want to get to, but those can wait to when I can actually do them. And right now we're building the foundation. I'll be rebranding the whole MIA website, giving it a different look and structure. getting ready to put the instructional videos on there and the quote repository and stuff. So yeah, that's everything.
Well, we can below the video we can write something if we forget about something. But
yeah,
I
and
think
it's her
that's pretty
birthday
much-
today,
yeah, it's
so
my
happy birthday.
Yay.
We're going out to eat tonight. That's why I don't look like a total slob right now. And a few months ago, I interviewed my friend Bob.
Yeah.
And asked him how has our ministry impacted his life. He's a fellow missionary here in Odessa. We got some changes in our ministry coming up. So for those that have been following the ministry for a while, or those who are brand new, I'm going to do a little quick recap. Usually we always, once a month, we ask somebody, lately we've been doing this, how has MIA impacted your life? And so I asked actually a missionary friend, Bob, because, well, 95% of the year we've literally been in this flat. I mean, we do a lot of our ministry work out of this flat, so we were kind of used to it, but not this much. So, we haven't been able to do English clubs all year. We just started being able to go to church a couple months ago again, and so yeah, here's what Bob had to say.
Bob's a district manager, not district manager. That's
for
not
Best
what
Buy.
they call it. What?
District manager for Best Buy.
No.
I'm the team leader
Team
for Mission
leader.
to the World, a sending agency for the Presbyterian Church in America. So I oversee a team of Americans, Presbyterian missionaries, church planting, helping to further church plants here in Odessa, Ukraine.
And you've been here for 18
Started out in 95.
Okay.
So 25 years.
25 years.
But I haven't been here the whole time. They were here in Ismail for a few years and back in the States for 3 or 4 years and back here and back there and back here. So probably like 15, 16 years altogether.
Right.
But started in 95.
Okay. And you run a lot?
Run.
And you have a back thing that you hang upside down on sometimes?
Yeah, put it back there. This is my room now. Yeah, I have to
And
do yoga now.
You did a lot of, I'm sorry, you said what?
I have to do yoga without the meditation, just the stretches.
I didn't
do the
know you
yoga.
were a Hinduist.
Yeah, I don't, but I eat cows.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unacceptable.
I'm a cow eating Hindu. No, I just do the stretches every day. I have to keep my back up.
And you guys in Ismail, you did women counseling ministry?
No, it was church planting. It was straight, just, we were one of the first teams to be in Ukraine from our denomination. And we just lived, worked in some of the schools, but we lived, met our neighbors, started Bible studies, and then career church planners came in from the denomination, helped us to bring those together into a church. But we had teams like that. Team in Ismail, had 3 teams in Odessa, Nikolaev, Kherson, Belgrade, Kharkov, Kyiv, Lviv. And from all those, we started churches. And then all the churches started grouping together into a big presbytery. And that presbytery became particularized about 12 years ago, more than that. So they have the Evangelical Reformed Presbyterian Church of Ukraine. And it's led and governed by Ukrainians, and they're pretty much financially independent now. They have their own seminary, a bunch of mercy ministries. We have a medical clinic in Belgrade. We've got a life care center. It's a crisis pregnancy center in Ismail. We used to have a lot of ministries here in Odessa. Still have a counseling center.
Crisis Pregnancy Center. That's what one I was talking about.
That's why I go about once a month, once every 6 weeks, and I work with them up there. Orphanage work, soup kitchen, drug and alcohol rehab center, had all kinds of ministries over the years. And as the church has grown, the American teams have gotten smaller and smaller and smaller, till we're kind of working ourselves out of a job. And now we're working alongside them. It's not a paternal thing. We're not over the churches by any means now. We're working alongside them, just helping them to become more established. And there'll be a point when we leave. I don't know when that's going to be, but Lord willing, it'll continue to grow and thrive long after we've gone.
how has our ministry personally impacted your life, and how?
It's I finally have another guy around that I can hang out with. First of all, sometimes we have so many women on the field. You know, I've got a wife, I've got 3 daughters, got a bunch of women on my team. We got some guys too, but it's no, it's good to have you as a friend, just over here, and being able to hang out and talk sometimes. And I mentioned earlier that just the way you think about things on a larger scale, kind of attacking things, it blew up our ministry in a lot of ways, in a good way. We were doing the English outreach. We've been doing that for a couple of years, and 10 people at a time, 8 people, 12 people, and we were making announcements about it in different places and trying to tell people about it. But yeah, you have a way of kind of attacking things and going at them on a large scale, and you've always got good ideas. What about this? Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's have a carnival type thing. Let's have this outreach. And so it's just helped me to kind of step out of my box and go, okay, what would Jacoby do in this situation? What kind of a
Not a good question to ask.
Well, but in a good way, there's some, if I were going to do this really big, how would I handle it? We've had a couple of other people who have done that. Tom Saxon was one. And it's a good way to kick myself out of this regular box of just going through the regular routines. Because I have a tendency to just kind of muddle through and just be faithful and do things.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
Just to see things, let's think differently. If we were going to make this a really big thing, dream big, how could we do this differently? So you've helped me to think through that differently.
I actually have a little notebook I was carrying around when I was raised in sport in the States, and it said "Think Big" on it. And
you don't have to. You don't need that, because you just naturally do that.
Yeah.
Well,
when I was younger, I heard a sermon from T.D. Jakes, because I used to listen to all the faith preachers, and he said, preach like there's 5,000 people in the room. And I always took this approach to ministry that we should, put on a presentation that's quality for the masses. And we should do ministry with excellence. Now I'm, like when I was in Lviv, I was having a conversation with your buddy, MTW buddy, Doug. And he said, just be faithful with what you have. God's given you, these resources, just use that. Because I had this vision for the center. And, he was kind of talking me into just use the church building and just be faithful with what you have. And then if God wants to grow that, he will. Yeah. And I was like, no way. What is this guy talking about? This is some voodoo.
Rent out a warehouse.
Yeah. And I was going like, there's a guy who created Vidal Sassoon shampoo and Patron tequila. What's his name? Some famous entrepreneur, because he was poor, living out of his car at one time. And he says, when you're pitching your spiel, you got to tell every person with fresh zeal and excitement as if nobody has been telling you no. So you got to, as many people tell you no, you got to keep representing it as with the same fervor, basically. Yeah. I just